Hello everyone! Today I want to show you how to make a basic Christmas stocking. We can do the solid or the multicolor stocking. The purpose of this is to give you a basic pattern, crochet pattern, to crochet your own Christmas stocking, but giving you the option to add different embellishments, different colors, so that it's a simple pattern for you to make. Whether you want to add snowflakes or trains or hearts, whatever you find that fits your style the best. So I've done a few of the solid colors, and then last night I did the multicolor, and I love the multicolor. I think it's fun, but all of them work. I'm going to show you how to crochet the multicolor. The solid you can do any way, anyhow you want. However, you will have to fasten off at one point for the heel. But other than that, you can work the same color all the way through. Really easy without fastening off. So, if you're going to work the solid color, you'll need a total of 246 yards of number 4 yarn, the worsted weight yarn. Let me get my computer over here a little closer. If you're going to work the multicolor, you will need, color A is going to be your toe, your heel, and the top. You will need 75 yards of that color A. And then color B, which is the middle section, you will need 171 yards for that section. And then that will also should give you enough yarn to stitch, like for your ends and for stitching the heel together. So what we want to get started is a size K crochet hook. It's a 6.5 mm. Your gauge is going to be 14 half double crochets and 11 rows is 4 inches. This is about 15 inches in diameter and then 18 inches tall when it's folded. And just for space, for reference for space, when you hang it, from the heel to the tip of the toe, it's about 10 inches wide. So you'll need about 10 inches space to hang this stocking. It is a skill level of easy. All we're using is half double crochets, single crochets, and I do use a half double crochet 3 together for the heel, but I'll show you how to do that in this video, so it should be simple. So even a beginner should be able to follow this video and make your own Christmas stocking. Okay, let's get started. We are going to start with a chain 3 for the toe section. We're starting at the toe and working our way up. So I'm going to chain 3. If you know how to work the magic ring, you are welcome to do so here. I'm just working a chain 3 for those who are not familiar with it to make things easier for them. We will work 8 half double crochets in that very first chain. And this will be round 1. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to slip stitch to the very first half double crochet, not the beginning chain 2, to connect. So there is our round 1. It is 8 half double crochets. For this pattern, I am just going to simply lengthen the loop on my hook. I'm not going to chain, and we're going to work round 2, 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. So 2 half double crochets in that same stitch and in each stitch around for a total of 16 half double crochets. There's 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. there's 15 and 16, and then slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet to connect. So that is round 2. You have a total of 16 half double crochets. I'm not turning my work for the toe section, but I do turn my work after that. So again, lengthen your loop on your hook, or chain if you want to chain. I only would chain 1. Yarn over and work 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that all the way around. So 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. So go ahead and pause the video here and work that 2 half double crochets in one stitch and 1 half double crochet in the next stitch all the way around, and I'll meet back for the join. Okay, so I've worked all the way around round 3. I have 24 half double crochets. I'm going to slip stitch to the beginning half double crochet to connect. And if you want to check your gauge to make sure you're right where you should be, your diameter across your diameter across here should be 2.5 inches. So that'll help you know that your stocking is going to be the same size as what I have here. To check your gauge, if you're not familiar with how to do this, you just lay the piece flat and then take your measuring tape and just place it across. So here you can see I'm at 2.5 inches in diameter for that. And I will give you the gauge in a few of these rounds just to make sure you're keeping up with the correct size. You can make your stocking smaller if you want, if you have smaller yarn or bigger yarn, but if you want it this specific size, you'll want to match that gauge. So that was round 3. Round 4, we're going to, again, lengthen our loop and yarn over and work 2 half double crochets in the first stitch and 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Again, 2 half double crochets in the next stitch and 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. We'll work that pattern, that repeat pattern, all the way around. We'll have a total of 32 half double crochets at the end of this round. So go ahead and pause the video here, and I'll meet you back for the join in the next round. All right, again, we're at the end of round 4. We have 32 half double crochets. We're going to slip stitch to the very first half double crochet to connect. To start round 5, I'm going to lengthen my loop and work 2 half double crochets in the first stitch and 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. And that is our repeat. So 2 half double crochets in the next stitch and 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Let's go ahead and pause the video here, work that all the way around, and I will meet you back for the join. All right, I've worked all the way around round 5. We have a total of 40 half double crochets. I'm going to slip stitch to the beginning half double crochet to join. At this point, we should be at 4 inches across. So we'll go ahead and measure real quick. And through the center, we're at 4 inches across. So round 6, again, we're going to lengthen our loop, yarn over and work our first 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. There's 3 and there's 4. Again, our repeat section is 2 half double crochets in the next stitch and 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So go ahead and pause the video here and work that repeat all the way around. We'll have a total of 48 half double crochets at the end of this round. All right, the end of round 6, I have 48 half double crochets. I'm going to slip stitch to the beginning half double crochet to connect. If you are working more than one color and want the toe section to be different than the main section, you will fasten off here. So I'm going to do that. I guess the gauge first. Let me show you real quick. Our gauge at the end of this round is going to be 4 3/4 of an inch. So if your gauge is on right there, you should be good to have the correct final size as mine. Okay, so fasten off if you're switching colors. This is where you're going to want to do it. And I'm just going to, to switch colors, I'm actually going to just undo that slip stitch to the first and bring in my next color. Okay, to swap colors here, I'm simply going to pull my new color through as if that was the slip stitch, so that my height here is the new color instead of white going up into my second color. So for this, we're actually going to work rounds 7 through 20, and I'm just going to, it's all half double crochets all the way around. So I'm going to turn towards my inside, and I'm just going to work that first half double crochet in that same stitch as the slip stitch. Make sure that your loop there is not too loose. I will stitch those in here in a minute so that they are already fastened off and I don't have to weave in the ends at the end. So we're just going to work a half double crochet all the way around, so you'll have 48 half double crochets. And I would even suggest putting a stitch marker or safety pin on the right side of the stocking, just so that you can keep track of where you're at. So this is the wrong side, which you can tell by the stitches here where we connected. It's not as pretty as the other side. So this section should go really easy because we're not increasing in diameter at all. We're just working up. Ooh, that got caught there. We're just working up the foot of the stocking. So when you have a total of 48 half double crochets at the very end, go ahead and slip stitch to the beginning half double crochet to connect, and then I will turn back. So that is the start of my new stocking. So go ahead and pause the video here. You're going to work, that was round 7. You're going to work rounds 7 through 20 the exact same, just half double crochets all the way around for a total of 48 half double crochets on each round. I do turn my work. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can work in a continuous round as long as you keep track that you have 7 through 20 rounds of that foot section. So go ahead and pause the video here, work through round 20, and I will meet you back for the heel section with color A again. At the end of round 20, whether you are going to work a solid color Christmas stocking or a multiple color, we're going to fasten off our yarn so that we can start the heel section. Make sure you keep track of where that last stitch is. So this is the last stitch of that round. We're going to start the heel 12 stitches to the right of the end stitch of this slip stitch we just did. So there's our end stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in that stitch is where we're going to slip stitch. So I'm just going to bring my yarn through, and then I'm actually going to chain 1 just to secure it to that stitch. So for the heels section, we're going to be working in rows. We're just going to work back and forth, and we're going to decrease a little bit as we go. We're going to start with a half double crochet in the same stitch as the slip stitch and in the next 23 stitches. So you'll have a total of 24 half double crochets. So that's 3, 4, 11 and 12, and that 12th one should put you right at the joins of the previous rounds. There's 18. And there's 24. Let me get my yarn closer. Okay, so row 22, we're going to chain 1 and turn. That very first stitch, we're going to work a single crochet. And then we will work a half double crochet in the next 22 stitches. There's 20. The ribbon in this gets stuck every once in a while and makes it hard to pull through, but I really like it, so we will work with it. The very end stitch is going to be a single crochet. So you've got a single crochet, 22 half double crochets, and then a single crochet at the end. We're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to skip the single crochet. We will single crochet in the next stitch and work 20 half double crochets across. Single crochet in the end, in the last stitch there, the last half double crochet. We're not going to use that single crochet at the end. We will chain 1 and turn. Same thing, skip the first single crochet. We'll work a single crochet in the next stitch and then 18 half double crochets across. and then single crochet in the next stitch, chain 1 and turn. Same thing, skip the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next 16 stitches, single crochet in the end stitch, row 26, chain 1 and turn, skip the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next 14 stitches, and we're almost there. Single crochet in that last stitch. Make sure you're leaving the end single crochet of those at the end of the rows. Chain 1 and turn. This is our last time decreasing, so skip the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and half double crochet in the next 12 stitches. Single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and this is we're going to decrease the center here for the actual heel section. So we're chaining 1 and turn, we're skipping the first single crochet, we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to work a half double crochet 3 together over the next 3 stitches. So you will yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop 3 times. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and make sure they're not too tight, but you don't want them too tall either, just the same height as the row. Last time, yarn over and insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You will have 7 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 7 loops on your hook, and that is the half double crochet 3 together. And we're going to do that twice. So yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop 3 times. You have 7 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 7 loops on your hook. And that joins the heel. We will work a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches and a single crochet in the next stitch. And right here we're going to join this heel. So we're going to fold this section over so the right side's still facing you, and we're going to slip stitch in that very first single crochet to connect. And that forms the heel of our stocking. It does leave an opening here that you're going to have to stitch together later. I'm going to switch back to my color B, to my blue. If you are working a single color, you leave this attached here. If you are switching colors, I would cut your strand of yarn here long enough that you can stitch this together at the end. So I'm just going to cut this pretty long here and pull it all the way through to fasten off. And then I'm going to knot it. And that is the heel. Okay, so now we're going to start the leg section. So grab my other color, and I'm going to hook it to the side of the end of the row that we just did. And I'm going to chain one just to connect that. So we have, for the heel, we have 8 rows, and we need to increase our stitch count to make up for the 24 stitches that we used here. So what we're going to do is work around the end stitch of each row. So we will work in that same stitch where I connected my blue, or you just loop, lengthen your loop if you're keeping the same color, and work 1 half double crochet around the end stitch of that first row. The next row we're going to work 2 half double crochets around the end stitch, and we're going to repeat that down 4 times. So the next row we're going to work 1 half double crochet. The next row we're going to work 2 half double crochets around that end stitch. So that's twice. The next row we'll work 1, and the next row we'll work 2. That's 3 times. Again, the next row we'll work 1 stitch around the end stitch, and the final row will work 2 half double crochets around that end stitch. Now it's time to work back across the foot section. We're going to work 24 half double crochets across. Make sure that you are not working in the same stitch as the heel ended in. You're going to the very first empty stitch. So 24 half double crochets across. My yarn's a little tight. That was 4. $11, $12, $22, $23, and $24, and that puts me right before the heel starts. We're going to work up the side of the heel. So again, around the end stitch of the rows, we're going to work 1 half double crochet around the first end stitch, 2 half double crochets around the next end stitch, 1 half double crochet around the next end stitch, and 2 around the next end stitch. So that's repeated twice. There's 1 around the next, 2 around the next, 1 around the next, and 2 around the end. That brings me back up to, I'm going to shove that strand on the inside so I can sew on the inside of the stocking later. We will slip stitch to the beginning half double crochet to connect, and that starts the form of our leg section. So from here on, we're just going to work half double crochets all the way around each row. If you are working a single color, then you can work rows 30 through 61 just a half double crochet all the way around. You should still have a total of 48 half double crochets, the same as the foot. Just go ahead and work rounds 30 through 61, and of the half double crochets, and I will meet you back to talk about how to work the top section. You can, again, you can work it in rows and turn as you go, as we've been doing, or you can work it in a continuous round as long as you keep track of the number of rows that you are working, or you work it until the length is where you want it. I do fold over the top 5 rows, so the top 10 rows are for the cuff at the top. If you are working double colors, extra colors, we're going to work rounds 30 through 51 in color B, and then 52 through 61 we're going to switch back to our color A, which is the toe and the heel and then the top. So all you do is I'm going to turn, so I'm just going to lengthen my loop on my hook and work 1 single crochet in the same stitch and each stitch around for a total of 48. So go ahead and pause the video here, work through round 51 if you're doing double colors, and through round 61 if you're doing a single color, and I will meet you back for the end process. All right, at the end of round 51, I'm switching colors, and instead of joining with the same blue, again, I'm going to join my white as the slip stitch. I'm just going to grab that yarn and pull it through so that the yarn that comes up into the next section is the same color as that section. I will chain 1 just to join it and secure it, and I'm going to half double crochet all the way around. So again, we'll still have 48 half double crochets for this section. We're working 10 rounds, so round 52 through 61 will be our color A. So you can go ahead and pause the video here and work those 10 rounds, and I will meet you back for the final instructions. All right, I have worked through round 61. There's our top section. The top 10 rows is what we're going to fold over to finish the stocking. So switching colors makes it easier to know, to see where you're at so that you don't go lopsided. If you're working a single color, I would recommend counting your 5 rows here, rounds here, and then counting 5 rounds underneath and putting some safety pins along here to make sure that you stitch evenly. I've caught myself when I haven't pinned it down, some of these get a little bit lopsided. So if you secure them a little bit with stitch markers or safety pins so that you can stitch all the way around, it'll be a nice clean look there. If you want to just continue using your yarn that you have connected still, so your option is to either cut about a yard, you might not need that much, but a yard would be safe, of yarn, and then just stitch, like hand sew the top together. Or if you want to stitch it with your crochet hook so you don't have as many ends to weave in, I'm just going to keep going. So I've lined up my end here with the end stitch, the 10 rounds below. And what I'm going to do is stick my hook down between the stitches, and then I will stick it, I will basically do like a post, go around that post 10 rounds below, and then back up around the same stitch of the previous round. And then I'm just going to do like a slip stitch, and I will do that all the way across or all the way around, and it will just secure it. So that our edge is nice and folded. This will also allow you, if you want to do a drawstring on it, you could make a long chain and then hide that drawstring in that, and then just pull it through 2 stitches to tie it if you want. Make sure you're not pulling this too tight. So when I slip stitch, it's pretty loose. It's about the length of a stitch wide. But that is how I secure the top of my stocking down. So hopefully this has been a good project for you. I will finish that up later. Remember to sew your heel together, and then you are all done and good to go, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy this pattern and make a whole bunch for family, friends, or service projects. Like I said, I think we're making 200 to 250 for the service project for foster kids that we are doing, but it's a quick and easy. I can do these in one day if I have time to sit down, 2 days if I am a little tight on time. But if you have any questions, I am happy to help. You can email me at craftingfriends4you, it's the number 4 at yahoo.com, and I can answer any of your questions there. The written instructions for this pattern are on my website, www.craftingfriendsdesigns.com. So you can follow along the written pattern there. The PDF will be available shortly. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, so that I know that it's worth the time to create, and share with everyone. And then make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get notifications for all upcoming tips and tricks and new crochet patterns that we can crochet along. Until next time, happy crocheting, everyone.